Hello guys, welcome to Pantech E-Learning. Good evening to everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening to everyone. Okay, in today's session, we will discuss about how to handling forms in Django. Good evening, everyone. In the Django framework, how to handling forms in Django framework. First, we will learn everything in theoretically, and after that, we're going to do how to installing forms in Django. Okay, in the practical way. First, we will understand theoretically. Okay. Okay, sir, I tried to add image, but image port is not working. You can check the path of image and look also it is in the static folder. Good evening to everyone. Okay, let's start the session. Okay, handling forms in Django. Okay, handling forms in Django. First, what is forms? Introduction to forms. What is forms? The form are used to collect user input. It is used to collecting a user input. If we need, if we visit any bank, we fill some forms, right? We fill some forms and enter the based on the form inputs. Okay, basically we entering some things in that form for bank statement, right? The same thing. This Django forms also done the same thing. It collecting a details from the users. It's collecting a detail from the user. Basically the forms are basically what is form? Form is it contains some questions. We need to fill the answer. By this form, the bank or any company that can gathering information about ourselves, right? That is form basically. In Django forms also very similar to that. Okay, the forms are used to collect user input. The forms are used to collect user input. It can collecting input from ourselves. Okay, an example, we also everyone know sign up forms and contact form and feedback forms. If there is any event or anything in the final session, they asking some feedback. Okay, by this form. First enter your name and enter your age and what are the things. Sir, I saved it template folder. Where means you can create also static folder, and instead of the static folder you need to put your image folder. In the inside of the image folder you need to put your image. Okay, and the same thing. Okay, after the event they're asking some feedback form, and we need to give the feedback to write a feedback in that form. They collecting a information about each and every person, right? The same thing here. Okay, the contact form and sign up form is nothing but whenever we register our any new account in Facebook or Instagram, they will asking some username and name. These are things are called as sign up forms. And contact form is nothing but you can enter the details, and the company or the management having received your information, and after some times he or the company will contact you. That is called contact form. These are the example of forms. Basically, what is form? The forms are used to collect user input from the users, right? And Django make work with forms easy and secure. In this Django framework, that can make collecting a user input is easy and with the secure way also. With the secure way. Okay. Now you understand what is form. Now you are all understand what is form. The form is nothing but it's collecting template. The screen are visible correctly, right? Is there anyone? Okay, Django help us make these forms easy and secure, because we having already predefined functions. Already we have a written code in Django. We can just use that code. Okay, you just use that code, already written code for forms. And why use Django forms? Why use Django form? The Django forms are safe, validate, and easy to handle. The Django forms are safe and validate and easy to handle. It can giving a good user interface, user experience. That means the user can easily handle with these forms. And Django automatically check for error display inputs. Okay, if you enter wrongly, it can automatically show error also. Okay, these are also the predefined. Okay, these are also the predefined in the forms of Django framework. and Django automatically checks errors. Okay, it automatically checking error, right? And display input field, and it also display input field. Okay, and protect against security threat like CSRF. Okay, CSRF is one of the cyber attack, and this cyber attack also in Django we can protect from that. We can protect from that. How Django help us? Django handles form creation. Okay, basically the Django already have a already predefined functions for forms. We don't need to write new code. It's already written in the framework. It already contained in the Django framework. So we don't return a code. We don't return a new code. Already form creations already written in the previous Django. Yeah, even we can make forms using HTML also. Yeah, and validation checking is data is correct. It can checking validation also already mentioned in the predefined code. The validation checking the data is correct or not. Whenever we enter a data, it will be checking correct or not. Okay, that is called validation. The validation functions also already inside of the Django. And displaying errors, we already see what displaying errors also already written in the Django framework. Okay, what are the things already how Django help us? What are the things it will be providing to help us? The form creation and validation. The validation is just checking the data is correct or not. Just checking a data is correct or not. And displaying errors. What are the things? Form creation, validation, and displaying errors. Okay. Okay, these are two main ways to make forms. The first way is using Django form class. We already written the code, already written a class. The class is nothing but we already written the code inside of class. Okay, function and the class is a same like. Okay, and if you write a class, you can use the code again and again. That's why we're using a class. Okay, using Django form class and EC2 recommended, we already having a Django written code in Django framework. Otherwise we have to write a HTML manually. Okay, these are the two way to make forms. Other way, we writing a HTML manually, HTML code. Okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are the front end, right? And these are things. With these things, we writing a form manually. And as a beginner, we don't know how to handle with security, how to handle with these things. So the Django already protect from that security and everything. Okay, so as a beginner, you can choose Django forms, and writing HTML manually less safe for beginners. That's why. Okay, these are two ways basically how to create a forms. These are two ways. One is using Django forms, and another way is writing HTML manually. Okay. Okay, first we just understand this and we go on to write a code after that. Okay, first we need to create a new file that's called form.py. We need to create a new file in Django, and that's called form.py. And instead of the form.py, we need to mention from Django import forms. how you this are the way how to import forms. Okay, in Django, in the framework, we instead of the framework we having a forms. Okay, and after we defining a class, and we name the class contact form, and we just inherit the form class. In the form, instead of the form we having a form. Okay, so we just inherit this by this class, and after that we just using name is equal to forms dot care field, and name is equal email is equal to forms dot email field. Okay, answer you can once please show correct way to adding image. Okay, the inside of the template you can create a new file that called the app name. Okay, app already you creating app name, right? And here also you need to create a app name. The inside of the in the static folder, you need to create app name, and after that you need to mention the image folder. The inside of the image folder you need to create the images. Okay, inside images. Okay, your doubt is clear. Okay, first we need to create a class, and the class is called the contact form. The inside of the and inside of the bracket we just inherit the forms. Okay, in the forms we having a forms, the f is caps here, right? And the forms is inherit with this, and we just mention two, name, email. Okay, the form care field is alphabets, and email is email field. Only the email is only valid. Okay, these are the things how to we creating a forms. Okay, and we also need to mention in our view.py. In Django file we having a view.py for separate file in our whenever we creating a app for Django. Okay, and from dot means the current directory. The current directory we having a form just okay. We just importing the contact form here, and after that from Django shortcut we just importing a render function here. Okay, and we just using the contact function getting a request, and after that form is equal to contact form. The form is equal to contact form means we already written a code in contact form here, and we just importing the inside of form.py. So we mention in .form.py import contact form. In this file we having this class, so in this file we having this class, so we using this import. Okay, and contact, and just store this contact form in the form which is creating a, and after that we just pausing this form, it will be creating automatically send to the form to the HTML page. Creating a template to show the forms. Okay, we just using this CSR officer security purpose, and the form.sp is showing the already written forms in the front end. Okay, when you just creating a template folder, instead of the template folder we need to mention contact.html, and after that after that when you mentioning this code, it will be showing the forms in our browser. Whenever loading this contact.html, it will be showing the forms in our front end. And if you want to add more security, you can you can adding these things. Okay, if the form is valid, you can just clean data means the secure data. Okay, and if you need to add the in the view.py, it will be handling the some logics. Okay, after that in the Django also providing the error message also, because we already predefined function for everything. Okay, so we just using this code to in the form errors, the forms errors that can show the forms error in the inside of the div. Okay, in the front end we show in the which error occur in this form. Okay, these are the things of error. Okay, so okay, we just done this practically. Okay, just opening the CMD here, command prompt. Okay, I just creating a new project. How to first we need to create a project in our Django. So okay, so I just okay first I just creating a new folder, right? Okay, new folder. I just name the folder Django forms. Okay, I just mentioned this folder Django forms. After that, go to the inside of the folder. I just remove these things. I just type cmd and it will be opening the command prompt in that folder path. After that, we just mention Django admin for creating a project. Django admin start project. Django admin start project, and we need to mention project name. Okay, I just mention the project name my project. I just mention the project name my project. Okay, and just enter. Okay, we've done the same mistake. We need to create a virtual environment for this project. Okay, so instead of again I just clear this and use cmd. Now I just type python m vnv. Vnv is that can creating a virtual environment for installing our dependencies. Okay, sorry. And python m vnv my env. Okay, I just creating my env for virtual environment name. Okay, creating a folder in our here like this. Okay, script we need to activate this virtual environment. Okay, the virtual environment is nothing but we just creating installing the python in our project. Okay, it's separately taking python to our project. Okay, now I creating a virtual environment, so I need to now activate the virtual environment. Okay, so I just mention my virtual environment name and I just go to the script folder and I go to the I just activate the virtual environment. Okay, just my env is my name, my virtual environment name and script and activate. Okay, I just activate the virtual environment. Okay, and just clear this, and now I need to install Django. How we install Django? Just pip install Django. Pip install Django. It can installing Django. Okay, it installed. Now I just creating a now I need to create a project in Django. How we create a project? Just type Django admin create start project, and I need to mention my project name. I just mention my project name is my project. I just mention my project name is my project. Now it can create. Okay, where is the Django forms? Just a minute. Here. Instead of the folder we have my project. Fine. And I go into the my project folder. Okay. And now I just type python manage.py python manage.py. I just start app. I just creating a new app. I just create my app. I just set the name of my app is my app. Python manage.py start app my app. Now enter. It will be create in our folder. Instead of the we creating a my app. Okay. Now I just open this in our VS Code. I just open this folder in our VS Code. Okay. Here I have a my app. I just creating a my app. Instead of the my app, I just creating a forms.py. I just creating a forms.py. I just creating a forms.py in Django my app. I just first from Django, in the Django we having a forms, already predefined forms, so I just import the forms. In Django I just import forms because in Django framework we having a already predefined form, so I just import the forms. Now I just create a class. I then name the class to contact forms. Okay. I just copy paste some things. I just explain. Okay. First I need to from Django import forms. After that the class we need to create a class, and the class name is contact form. Okay. And instead of the bracket we just mention forms. Here the forms, the inside of the forms we having a forms. Okay, we having a forms function, so I just mention instead of the form we need having a forms. Okay, so it will be inherit means it can access everything in the inside of the forms. And after that instead of the class I just mention name is a variable. In the variable we just using forms dot char field. That means in the form field, okay, in the input field, everyone see that input field, the input field in the alphabets only, that is the meaning of char field. And instead of the char field only 100 words only allowed. Okay, that is max length. Okay, if your max length is 1000, the 1000 words are letters are allowed. Okay, the email, and after creating email, the forms dot email field, it will be creating a email field. Okay, only email only validate. I just save this form.py. Now I just save this form.py. Okay, I just save this form.py. After we need to go for view.py in the my app. In the my app we having a view.py file. I go into this file. After that I just clear this. Okay, I just copy paste the things. I will explain everything. Okay, because whenever we typing it's got more time. Okay, I just explain here. Okay, we just from Django framework, we having a shortcut class. In the short class, we need to import render. Okay, render is used for one page to another page. We already see in the previous class sections. Okay, render is used for one place to another place basically. Okay, that's why we're using this function. And from dot, the dot means the current directory. In the same directory, we having a forms. See, where is forms? In the same directory, right? This is the same directory. We having a forms and view are in the same directory. So we using dot forms. We need to import contact forms. In the forms, we having a contact form class. Okay, so we just use contact form like this. Okay, and after that, if the request dot method, whenever we getting a request method, we already see in the previous session also, the post put, get, delete, these are the methods. Okay, the whenever we using a put, there is a post method, we also having a get method, get. Okay, whenever using a get method, it will be show in the URL. We already understand what is URL. Okay, double dot and the HTTP, these are things are URL. Whenever we using get method, the password, whenever the name, email or these are inputs are visible in our URL. That's why we don't use the get method. That's why we don't use the get method. Okay, and the form, the contact form, store in the variable, and request are post. If the request is post, that only we stay in this form. After the form is valid, we check the form is valid. That means the every input are correctly insert. Okay, if not insert, it not valid. Okay, and after that we just cleans data, means we just secure the data. We can check the any bugs, and we just checking it is a secure data. Okay, after we just print in the terminal for checking these inputs, and after that we just return the render means one place to another place. We just go to the pass the request and pass the contact HTML, and forms is already having inside of the forms. Okay, first we need to create a contact.html. Okay, and before that, in the my app we having a need to create a url.py. In the url.py, we need to from Django dot urls import path from dot view import contact view. That means in Django urls import path. Okay, we just using in the URL instead of the Django framework, just import the path, and also from the current directory we having a view dot. Inside of the import contact view means we having a function in the contact view. Okay, that's why you mention in this URL. After I just type urls pattern is equal to, I just creating a list. Instead of the list, I just mention path contact slash, and after that we need to mention the function of contact view, comma, and I need to mention the contact in the double quote or single quote, that's not a problem. I'm just using single quote. Okay, now I save this. in the my project I need to mention the same thing. Okay, in the my project URL we need to first I need to comma include using include. Okay, because we need to include, I just mentioned path, and after I need to mention it is default. Okay, it's having some comma include where in my app we having a url.py. So urls. Okay, and in the end we need to mention this comma. That's why we just include this url app.url into our main project url. Okay, in the main project url we need to mention the app level url. This, that's why we just in my app we having a url.py. Okay, we already written url.py contact which function will be load, so we need to mention in our main project. Okay, I just creating a template. Templates, instead of the templates I need to create contact.html. After that I just paste this. Okay, we just creating a form, simple form. I just using the basic boilerplate HTML template, and I mentioning h2 tag in a contact as, and forms. The forms method is nothing but the method is equal to post. If I method is equal to put, it will be the data source show in the URL. Okay, and the forms it is used for secure token. Okay, and it is used for show our forms in our front end. Okay, basically whenever I submit, it will be go to the some URL in the post method. Okay, if you enter the put, it will show in the URL. Okay, now we just creating a form. We creating a forms. Just running the commands. We just type python manage.py run server. Okay, it show like this. Go to the browser. Just paste this. Okay, sorry. Okay, I just mentioned like this. It shows some error because the template is not exist. Okay, we done some mistake in the templates, it's not found, so we just check the templates. Okay, templates, what is the mistake? Okay, need to create okay, this template is in the outside maybe. Now I save this. to the browser. Now refresh. Just a minute. We done some minor mistake, but we don't. Contact.html. We mention contact.html, right? Okay, instead of the settings. Installed app, we need to mention our app. Okay, my app, we don't mention it. Okay, now we're going to the browser. Now it show correctly. Okay, we don't mention our creating app in our installed app. We need to, whenever we creating a new app, we need to mention like this. Okay, we need to, if you create another app, we need to mention like this. Okay, then only the Django take that app, otherwise it not consider that app. Okay, basically this is how we creating a simple form in Django. Okay, we just entering input. Okay, and submit, it will be submitted. Okay, this is how we creating a Django forms. Okay, and if you're interested in to convert this masterclass into internship, you can have a way. So creating a my app folder, whenever using a JavaScript and static images, these are things we need to create a my app. Otherwise we also have this way also. Okay, if you want to create a convert this internship, no, it's not saved in the database, and you can convert this masterclass into certified internship, and it's this a confirmation letter and 180 days course access, flexible access anytime, and PPT download files, and 3+ major project, and get project source code with project with source code. Okay, and we are also giving a access VIP community, and 1 month internship certificate also we provide. Okay, and these are the first 10 days of internship. These are another 10 days, and this is another 30 days, and these are the 3 projects we providing with the source code, and these are the certificate who by the internship getting this certificate for 1 month validity. Okay, and if you anyone interested, if anyone interested, you can scan it. Okay, and if you want to more detailed content, you can buy this internship. Okay, we're providing a clear more content. Okay, that's all today classes. Is there any doubt? You can ask me in the LinkedIn also, and my LinkedIn ID also mentioned in description, I think. Okay, and if there any question, you can ask me now. Yeah, okay, and thank you for your time. And if you like this video, if this useful content, and you can like this video and share your comments in the comment section also. And yeah, thank you for your time, and yeah, thank you for everything. Bye.